Welcome everyone to a truly monumental edition of our sports coverage. If you thought you understood the landscape of global tennis, if you believed the hierarchy of the sport's elite was already established and unlikely to change, then prepare to think again. The foundation of the tennis world has shifted, and from the center of this sporting earthquake has emerged a 21-year-old sensation from Quezon City, Philippines. Her name is Alex Eala. But today, she is no longer just a tennis player. She has become a national symbol, a global sensation, and one of the most celebrated figures in Philippine sports history. We are witnessing a homecoming unlike anything the country has ever seen. At Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Terminal 3, the scene was beyond extraordinary. The airport was not simply crowded, it was alive with energy, emotion, and pride. Thousands of passionate supporters wearing the colors of the Philippine flag, blue, red, white, and yellow, filled the arrival halls and spilled into the surrounding areas, creating a sea of fans united by one voice. The atmosphere felt like something from a movie, the kind of reception usually reserved for legendary champions returning from historic battles, astronauts coming home from space missions, or boxing icons who have brought glory to an entire nation. But this time, the celebration belonged to a young woman carrying a tennis racket. A young athlete who had just delivered one of the most remarkable and unforgettable runs in the long history of the Wimbledon championships. Alex Eala had returned home carrying more than just victories. She had brought back a moment of history that will forever be remembered in Philippine sports. Surrounded by heavy security and facing a wave of emotion from thousands of fans, she made her way through the overwhelming crowd as supporters chanted her name together, celebrating the arrival of a player who had changed what was possible for Filipino tennis. She was personally welcomed by some of the highest figures in Philippine sports leadership, including Philippine Olympic Committee President Abraham Bambol Tolentino and Philippine Sports Commission Chairman Patrick Pog Gregorio. The celebration went far beyond officials and dignitaries. Young athletes from the community, including little girls clutching tennis balls and wearing ruffled socks as a heartfelt tribute to Eala's own emotional post-match dedication, stood there with tears in their eyes. For them, Alex was not just a champion returning home, she was living proof that the biggest dreams could become reality. She was a symbol that someone from the Philippines could stand on the greatest stages in world tennis and belong there. This was more than a sporting celebration. It was a cultural moment, a defining image of an entire nation stopping to recognize a historic breakthrough. But why did Alex Eala's homecoming create such overwhelming emotion? The answer lies in what she achieved on the legendary grass courts of the All England Club in London. Just weeks earlier, few could have imagined the level of success she would reach. She became the first Filipina player in the Open era to advance to the fourth round, the round of 16, at a Grand Slam singles tournament. She also became the first Filipino player to ever receive a Grand Slam seeding. But the significance of her run was not only about how far she went, it was about the players she defeated along the way. In a match that sent shockwaves from London to Manila and throughout the tennis world, Eala defeated defending Wimbledon champion and world number 3 Iga Swiatek in one of the most stunning victories of the tournament. It was a performance built on tactical intelligence, fearless determination, and incredible belief. Standing across the net from one of the most dominant players in modern tennis, Alex refused to be intimidated. She embraced the moment, played with confidence, and delivered a victory that captured the hearts of millions around the world. Today, we will take a deep dive into every chapter of this historic Wimbledon campaign. We will break down exactly how Alex Eala overcame the pressure, challenged one of the sport's biggest stars, and produced an unforgettable 84-minute opening set that many are already calling an instant Grand Slam classic. We will analyze the evolution of Alex Eala's game, from the highly attackable serve she possessed during her junior years to the powerful, ace-producing weapon she displayed on the biggest stage at Wimbledon. We will examine her intense and emotional battle against Italy's Jasmine Paolini in the round of 16. A match that proved her second-week Grand Slam appearance was not a lucky run or a temporary moment, but the beginning of a new reality. We will also explore the deeper cultural impact of her success and what it means for a Southeast Asian nation traditionally known for its dominance in basketball and boxing to suddenly have one of the brightest young stars in global tennis. Her ranking continues to rise toward a career-high world number 28. Her confidence is stronger than ever. The tennis world is officially paying attention. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and prepare for a complete breakdown of how Alex Eala shocked the sport, rewrote the history books, and returned home to the Philippines as an undeniable legend. To truly understand the significance of this historic homecoming, we have to rewind the story and carefully examine the incredible Wimbledon campaign that created it. Wimbledon 2026 will forever be remembered in the Philippines as the tournament where Alex Eala fully announced herself on the world stage. Heading into the grass court season, Eala was already considered a rising star. She had proven herself on the junior circuit, winning Grand Slam titles at the US Open and French Open junior events, and many within tennis recognized her enormous potential. But the transition from a successful junior player into a genuine threat on the WTA Tour is one of the most difficult challenges in professional tennis. Before this Wimbledon run, Eala had a modest 1-5 record in Grand Slam main draws. She was a player with undeniable talent and a promising future, but she had yet to produce the defining victory that would announce her arrival among the sport's elite. That all changed the moment she stepped onto the famous grass courts of the All England Club. Her Wimbledon journey began against Mexico's Renata Zarazua, and Alex entered the match with something to prove. She displayed a level of confidence, precision, and aggression that had previously only appeared in flashes. From the opening point, she controlled the match and delivered a dominant 6-1, 6-2 victory. It was more than just a first-round win. It was a powerful statement that Alex Eala had arrived ready for the biggest stage of her career. The ball striking was crisp, the movement was exceptional, and the nerves that often overwhelm young players competing in the opening rounds of a Grand Slam were nowhere to be seen. Alex Eala looked completely comfortable on one of tennis' biggest stages. But the real test of her growth came in the second round against Maya Joint. After losing the opening set 6-3, questions began to surface. Many wondered whether the pressure of Grand Slam tennis was starting to catch up with her, or whether the struggles from previous major appearances were returning. But instead of collapsing, Eala revealed the mental strength that would become the defining feature of her entire Wimbledon run. She fought back with incredible determination, taking the second set 6-2 before producing a statement of complete dominance in the deciding set. Eala delivered a stunning 6-0 bagel, shutting the door on her opponent and proving that she belonged on this stage. With that victory, she reached the third round and became the first Filipina player to advance that far at a Grand Slam tournament. But history was only beginning to be written. A much greater challenge was waiting. Standing across the net in the third round was the ultimate test in women's tennis. The defending Wimbledon champion and world number 3, Iga Swiatek. The storyline was impossible to ignore. The fearless young challenger from the Philippines against one of the most dominant champions of the modern era. What followed on center court was nothing short of extraordinary. It was the kind of match that becomes part of tournament history, the type of battle replayed for years through highlight packages and tennis documentaries. The opening set alone was an 84-minute war of endurance, strategy, and nerve. The momentum shifted constantly, with neither player willing to surrender control. Swiatek struck first, breaking for a 2-1 advantage, but Eala immediately responded. She showed remarkable tactical intelligence, understanding that she could not simply try to overpower one of the strongest baseline players in the world. Instead, Eala changed the rhythm of the match. She used high, looping moonball returns to disrupt Swiatek's timing before attacking with sharp, aggressive passing shots that left the defending champion struggling to find answers at the net. The tension reached its peak during the first set tiebreak. Eala built a commanding 5-2 lead, but Swiatek showed exactly why she was a Grand Slam champion. The Polish star responded with 4 consecutive points, turning the situation around and earning a set point of her own. This was the moment when many young players would normally break under the pressure. The stadium is louder, the opponent is more intimidating, and the weight of the occasion becomes overwhelming. But Alex Eala was not there just to compete, she was there to prove she belonged. But Alex Eala was built differently. Facing a set point against the defending champion, with the entire stadium watching, she delivered when it mattered most. She fired an unreturned serve to save one set point, then survived another when Swiatek sent a forehand into the net. Eala fought off 2 set points in total before finally closing out the historic tiebreak 11-9. When Swiatek's forehand sailed long, the crowd erupted. Alex Eala had taken the first set against the defending Wimbledon champion. If the opening set was a battle of survival, the second set was a statement of belief. Eala stepped onto the court with even greater confidence, refusing to allow the wounded champion any chance to recover. Her defense was extraordinary. In one unforgettable rally, she slipped on the grass, fell to the ground, but instinctively reached out with her racket to keep the ball alive. Somehow, she stayed in the point and eventually won the rally, creating a moment that perfectly captured her determination and fighting spirit. She continued applying pressure, breaking Swiatek twice and racing ahead with control and confidence. Even when faced with danger, Eala remained composed. At 3-0, she endured a tense service game filled with multiple deuces and a break-point threat, but she held firm and refused to let momentum shift back toward the champion. Perhaps the biggest surprise of all was her serve. A part of her game that had previously been considered vulnerable became one of her greatest weapons on the biggest stage. Eala protected her second serve with incredible discipline, winning 55% of second serve points compared to Swiatek's surprising 32%. When the final point was complete, history had been made. Alex Eala had defeated the defending Wimbledon champion 7-6, 6-2, delivering one of the biggest victories in Philippine tennis history. In her emotional post-match interview, Eala delivered words that will forever be remembered by Filipino sports fans. She said, "How many times have I dreamed of opportunities like this? When I have my opportunities, I have to take it. Being here is a blessing. I worked super hard just to get here. This goes out to the Filipino fans. This goes out to my family. This goes out to all the little girls with ruffled socks and chubby cheeks." It was a moment of incredible honesty, pride, and emotion. Alex understood immediately that this victory was bigger than herself. It belonged to everyone who had supported her journey, everyone who believed in her dream, and every young Filipino athlete who now saw a path that once seemed impossible. It belonged to an entire nation. The impact of Alex Eala's victory was felt far beyond the tennis court, and the global reaction was immediate. The official Wimbledon Facebook page released a highlight video of her match point, but instead of using the traditional dramatic background music usually associated with major tennis moments, they chose something completely different, a classic Filipino song, Yakap. It was a remarkable cultural crossover and a beautiful recognition of the passionate Filipino fan base that Alex had inspired around the world. Eala's historic Wimbledon journey eventually reached the round of 16, where she faced another major challenge against Italy's Jasmine Paolini. Coming into the match after the emotional and physical demands of the previous rounds, Alex was carrying the weight of an entire country's expectations. But once again, she showed the fighting spirit that had defined her entire tournament. She lost the opening set 6-4, but instead of fading, Eala responded with incredible resilience. She fought back to take the second set 6-4, sending the crowd into another wave of support as they chanted her name. She had once again proven that she belonged on the biggest stage. In the deciding set, however, Paolini's experience and composure ultimately made the difference. The Italian star closed out the match 6-3, ending Eala's remarkable run. But there was no disappointment in defeat. Alex had pushed a world-class opponent to the limit and had proven beyond doubt that her place in the second week of Grand Slam tournaments was not a one-time achievement. It was the beginning of a new standard. As she walked off center court, Eala received a standing